In my old house in Mira, I used to have a lot of very vivid dreams. A lot of them recurring dreams that I'd always had. Some new ones, new recurring dreams. A lot of running through the house and the lights not turning on. A lot of haunted house dreams, or just house dreams with a haunted basement or a demonic basement that I was too afraid to go into. A lot of being stalked. A lot of dreams about being chased. I actually still have those now, but probably not as much. But this one set of particular dreams that I used to have was, sometimes I think maybe it was just, the power of suggestion when you've seen something particularly, I wouldn't say shocking, but it got to you in some way. Something you saw got to you somehow. And I would say Paranormal Activity, the movie, on a certain level got to me for whatever reasons. I don't know, maybe the same as The Exorcist gets to you. Like, it's a pretty powerful film with maybe powerful themes. I don't know. You probably have to be quite religious to get really scared of that. Anyway, so these dreams that I used to have in my old house, a couple of them that I can recall that, I'll tell you about now. There was this one, and I think this is the one that makes me think of Paranormal Activity, was where I was lying in bed and my dog was lying on the bed, but I didn't realize I was dreaming. And so I'm lying there, thinking about it, it's kind of a bit, So I was lying there and I heard these loud banging footsteps come running down the hallway, and my bedroom door flew open, and my dog jumped off the bed and just started going insane at whoever was saying it, but there was no one there. And then I woke up, because it's just a dream. I used to sometimes have dreams that, because I actually switched rooms in my old house from the room that was at the back of the house to the in my opinion, much nicer room, to some extent, at the front of the house, which overlooked the front garden, which in my opinion was, I don't know, was nicer. Anyway, so that was that dream. I used to have dreams that I would wake up in the twilight, in the early morning, in the first bedroom, and my cupboard, which was right at the end of the bed, facing me, my cupboard door would be open, and there would be music coming from inside it, and it was really disturbing. I also had a lot of sleep paralysis in Lura. I personally think that sleep paralysis is just brought on by a lot of stress and maybe unhappiness. But that happened. So that was a particularly bizarre dream to have. Anyway, the one that probably made me pay attention most, made me think maybe there's something else going on, was when I had moved my bedroom into the front bedroom. And actually, another thing about the front room, there was a lock, like a lock on the outside of the door. I can only assume that the woman who used to live there, maybe her husband got Alzheimer's or something, and for his own protection, there was a lock on the outside of the door. That's me being a little optimistic, but yeah, it was weird. So anyway, in the new bedroom, at the front, I had been working at a spa in Lura, a day spa. So I was pretty tired, and I would always go to sleep around then, like quite early at night. But I have this song on my phone, which will tie into the story later, and it was a song by My Sex, which is like a New Zealand band from the 80s, and it's called You Don't Care. And I really love that song. So anyway, that was on my phone, and I'd gone to sleep pretty early, and then I remember it was 4 o'clock because, you know, obviously I looked at my phone when my phone woke me up, and that song was just playing. It was just on and playing, like it had just switched itself on, and it was dark, but for some reason, talking about this is really for some reason I was very aware that there was someone standing in the doorway of my bedroom, sort of towards the foot of my bed, just looking at me. I don't know who it was, but yeah. And for some reason, I found it really significant that that song had just decided to switch itself on. You know, aside from that being really bizarre in the first place. And I know it wasn't a dream because it's just something I know. Not really any eloquent story time. Yeah, so that happened. I don't know if I felt that scared, to be honest with you, because I went back to sleep. But yeah, that happened, amongst other bizarre dreams. I know that being up in the mountains, bushfires were always a really big concern of mine, especially because, you know, they happened pretty much every year. I think there was like stories about bushfires being set, but I remember this one year it was particularly bad. And I actually had this same type of dream when I was living in the Southern Islands. I would dream that there'd be fire coming up the mountain, and the sun would be like orange red from the smoke. And yeah. Anyway, another dream sort of that, you know, presented itself in the same form as the other 2/3 that I told you. There was this one dream that I had where I was chasing my dog through the house, and he ran outside, and he ran downstairs, and the door to the under the house was open and dark and gaping, and he ran in there, and I was terrified for some reason, but I ran in there, and as soon as I got in there, I was faced with just terror. Like, it was dark, but I knew that there was something standing right there in front of me, and it was fucking terrifying. But then I woke up. That always happens, which is probably a good thing. Whenever things get too scary in dreams, I tend to just startle awake. And I'm not sorry that happened. But yeah, that was just a brief story time of those things that happened. Science, supernatural. Who knows? If it is science, if it is psychological, my God, what the fuck is going on in my head? I think that every day anyway. Okay, so, if you've watched this, thanks for watching. I'm not sure of what interest this could possibly be to anyone, unless there's people out there who have, you know, their own manic dreams. I think I mentioned this in a previous video. It's like I've never stopped dreaming. It's like the only 3 times, I guess, that my brain has ever switched off was that time when I was little, and then the 2 times I was operated on, and every other time, everything else in my life has just been constant consciousness. Maybe that's why I get so muddled all the time, and I find it hard to articulate what I want to say. Even though I can hear it very clearly in my head, it can be a little hard to get out. So anyway, that's exciting. Some exciting news is that I've started working on my books again, so book 3, as soon as I get together enough money to get a cover out, or get a cover worked on, made up, that will be published, so that's good. And about to start work on editing book 4, and start writing book 5, so that's all good too. Okay, just thought I would share all that with you, and